Okay. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Cellar Series. You're two.
Woo!
Let's do this. Okay, that tastes good. This is April 2022, and we are celebrating the Cellar Series' 2nd anniversary. We're back in the cellar. We are in transition. We were outside like 5 minutes ago, and we're like, damn, it's cold out. It sucks. But it's looking better. Like, it's looking better. The whole goal is this time next month, be back outside in short sleeves. I think we're gonna be there. So we've got Easter coming up, Passover, we've got some holidays, we've got sunshine coming, we've got rosé in the bag, some fun, fresh whites that have some texture to them, picnic red, some pretty serious kind of old world reds also. Super excited about where we're going with this month's Cellar Series. We're at about $155-ish after the discount, some very nice discounts throughout. But let's jump in. We are going to start off with Florian Le Capitaine's Vouvray Sec, brand new producer. This is a young man who's making wines along the Loire River in Vouvray. You know, Vouvray is, you know, maybe the apex of Chenin Blanc for a lot of people. The Loire in general has Savennières and Mont-Louis-sur-Loire, but Vouvray kind of has it all going on. And this is a good example of the drier styles that we see from kind of well-managed organic biodynamic you know, vineyards. So this is from a 6-hectare you know, single kind of plot above the Loire River. It's clay and limestone. The producer has been making wines organically, but in the 2020 vintage, he started his biodynamic conversion, which takes several years for the soils to really kind of integrate all of those implementations. So it's 5 months in barrel. It's lovely. I mean, it's like kind of spring in a bottle in a way. You know, there's kind of these golden fruits that kind of come out. But unlike a lot of Vouvrays that we have out there, like which kind of have this hint or suggestion of sweetness, like this is dry and it has really like lovely acidity to kind of frame that kind of riper fruit. So really nice option right there from a young, you know, kind of multi-generational, the new generation of winemaking for the Le Capitaine family. So we're moving on. We are going through the Mont Blanc tunnel all the way into the Val d'Aosta right here with Grosjean. You know, Grosjean is a producer that we have worked with in the past, but we did a tasting with our friend Randall Bush of Rosenthal Wine Imports a few weeks ago, and we tasted this and we're like, wow, that wine is really, really good. And we brought a bottle to Muriel after had an amazing meal at our friends at Muriel. And we kind of divvied it all up right then and there, seemingly. There's not much of this wine out there. There's not much wines from the Val d'Aosta. So this is Petit Arvin from that very northwestern corner of Italy, kind of high up in the Alps. The producer really kind of came to be in, you know, the 1960s. It's a very old family that really they kind of did all sorts of stuff in the mountains. Like they, you know, they were cattle grazers. They farmed, you know, orchard fruits, etc. But they also made wine. But in the late 60s, Dauphin Grosjean finally entered his wines into this kind of county fair, seemingly. And the wines were really, really well received. And they kind of, it seems like they never really looked back. A great story, but a lovely expression of alpine whites. So what we have here is it kind of jumps from this flavor profile and just builds on it. It's more expansive. There is more texture. It doesn't have as much acidity. These mountain whites are not these kind of bracing wines. They are broad wines. They remind me of wines from the Northern Rhone. They have kind of this internal kind of spice to them, which is really lovely. Just really lovely mountain wine that seemingly is very limited. So just a handful of cases came into the state, and they're going to be in this month's feature. So Going to California, Arnott Roberts right here. And speaking of limited, like this is one of those wines that just a handful of cases are going to come into the state for the entire year. Arnott Roberts is two friends making wines. You know, their names are Duncan and Nathan, and they are, you know, kids from the Napa Valley, but they didn't really grow up as winemakers kids or kind of deep inside of the winemaking community. You know, I think, you know, one of these guys was the son of a cooper, you know, like a barrel maker. And the other one kind of gained a lot of experience at different wineries, but, you know, they're not from like famous families, but they have certainly made a name for themselves in the last, you know, 10 plus years, and quickly have become one of those great kind of mailing list kind of cult wineries that people really kind of seek out for their whites and their reds. Exceptional white and red wines. So the rosé is kind of a fun option for us to feature. It's Trigo Nacional, Gamay, Tinta Sal, and Grenache. So vibrant and fresh, very, very delicate. It's not this big flavor bomb. It's just a really, really lovely, lovely California rosé. So moving to the south of France, we are looking right here at Domaine des Hommes. And Domaine des Hommes is a producer that we work with regularly. And as we were kind of putting the puzzle together this month, Monday afternoon, you know, Nick Thomas and I were kind of searching for another wine, and this wine like is just calling to, you know, to me. I love the kind of floral quality to the label. I always love the freshness of this wine, but it was a brand new vintage. So we popped the bottle and we're like, hell yeah. I mean, this wine is super fresh. It's very, very pure. It's single vineyard Minervois, but it's all, you know, this one grape called Cinsault. So we don't see a lot of 100% Cinsault. It tends to be a bit of a blender because it's light. It's light on its feet. It's very aromatic, very pretty, it's like a picnic wine. They add very, very little SO2 at the bottling, and the resulting wines tend to be just vibrant, you know? It just smells like pure, fresh, kind of Southern French red. So, love that wine. Going to Stefania Barbeau, and, you know, kind of just east of Naples by about an hour, I would say. So this is kind of wrapped up in paper. It's all pretty light, but anyways, you know, the wine is 100% Aglianico, and it's from Torazzi. Torazzi is kind of like downtown Aglianico. It's the most important kind of stretch of terroir for, you know, southern Italy's great red grape, which is Aglianico. So 70-year-old vines here that are trained in this really distinct style of high kind of fanned out training. Really amazing images of the vineyards, you know, if you see them. But clay, volcanic soils, primary volcanic soils, 24 months in barrel. The wine has plenty of presence and stance. It's a 2013, so I mean, I like trying wines that have some age on them, and Aglianico ages really well. I mean, a lot of people will compare it to Nebbiolo. I'm still wrapping my head around Aglianico. You know, in a way. I was talking to a friend of mine, you know, who works with this wine and helped me kind of find this wine, and we were kind of comparing notes about how Aglianico ages, and it's just a lovely, lovely expression of primary notes, like this kind of like cranberry, kind of bright cranberry qualities, and then also this kind of earthy component, which just works so well with, you know, with kind of savory fare this time of year. So we're finishing up in northern Spain. This is Alto Moncayo, and this producer right here is making Grenache, making pretty serious Grenache. And I shouldn't say Grenache, they're making pretty serious Garnacha. You know, this is between like, you know, the Catalan coast and Rioja, you know, kind of the mountainous area of northern Spain, where these old vine Grenache vineyards, these are about 50-year-old vines, are in basically just pure rock soils. You know, when I was looking through images of the vineyards here, it's basically fractured slate, and it's just really poor soils. It reminded me a lot of what you see when you're looking at, you know, images of Châteauneuf-du-Pape or the Southern Rhone or like the Mosel, where it's just all rock. So it comes through, but the wine is big. Plenty of kind of inherent spice to it. It's kind of a flashy style, but a really fun style. You know, last month I feel like we had these kind of more tense, chiseled reds, high acidity, medium bodied, and like these, certainly this like brings that kind of like texture and spice to it, a little bit of like that New World kind of flair. So that is the Cellar series for this month. The sunshine is coming. I'm certain it will be outside next month, but we hope to see you in the shop soon. These will be available tomorrow afternoon, and come on in.